Should Swahili be made an official language in South Africa? Well, that is a proposal raised by the Kara Heritage Institute, which argues that this would fast-track African unity and better economic development.
There's a very limited and a very slim group of people who speak this language within the ambits of South Africa. So we say here as the MK party, indigenous languages must take precedent and preference. They are the ones for which we must advocate recognition, not foreign languages.
They can be included or be spoken freely in many institutions. So I think that for now it's undesirable. Perhaps at some point where we are thoroughly developed, we will be able to give that consideration.
Parliament's legal advisors say the proposal is a policy issue rather than a constitutional amendment proposal.
It's entirely a policy matter. Nothing would prevent the language from being used or from even being taught in schools or anything like that if it isn't an official language.
A proposal by the Council for the Advancement of the South African Constitution to streamline Chapter 9 institutions was also rejected.
It will be practically impossible to have Chapter 9, one Chapter 9 institution.
All know government entities are bloated. We believe that bringing them under one umbrella can streamline the industry.
If the proposal was accepted, it would have financial and legal implications.
If there were to be an amalgamation, it would mean that legislation would need to be amended across the board because each of these entities at the moment have their own legal frameworks. So those are matters that would need to be looked at.
And there was also a constitutional proposal to review the process to appoint a national director of public prosecutions to be like that of the appointment of judges in the Judicial Service Commission.
The status quo for now has got no challenge at all. It's just that we need to calm ourselves down and deal with matters as they are before us. And the president of the country is obliged to respect the constitution of this country, to ascertain that the interests of South Africans are put first and protect such interest in his action or her action. So I think we are not in support, Chair.
We support the submission. Any additional accountability measures for the judiciary does make sense, and removing it from any partisan influence.
For the amendment of Section 25 of the Constitution to allow for land expropriation without compensation remains on the table for consideration.
Don't just agree, but we submit that the current Constitution, which says that or the current section which says that you can only take the land, which talks about the cutoff date of 1913 is wrong. We're saying that the cutoff date should start from when the white settlers, the first white settler, arrived in South Africa.
They feel that legislation is becoming racialized and is in contradiction to the Bill of Rights within the Constitution of South Africa. And then I'd like to state again, this is a constitutional court matter.
This submission by Siakaliga must just be openly dismissed because there is no way in which we can approve a view that puts a stop in any intention to amend Section 25.
Meanwhile, the committee will at its next meeting consider about 600 constitutional review submissions submitted under the latest public participation process that closed at the end of last month. Ulelani Philip, SABC News, Parliament.